Yeah, the Voices of Region 1 podcast with LaShawn English. What up, Joe? What up, Joe? We build it informative, unifying the community. Let the love flow. What up, Joe? What up, Joe? What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe?
Welcome back to Voices of Region 1. Hey, this is our second podcast, right, Shantae?
This is the second one.
This is our second
More to come.
More to come. I am Director LaShawn English.
I am Shantae Sanders Beasley.
And today we're going to talk about how Region 1 moves differently. And I'm going to talk about how I, as a director, move differently. And we're moving differently really impacts our membership. And we just want to discuss how we're moving differently. Do you think we're moving differently around here, Shantae?
I think so. I think we are getting so much done from the time that you started. People in the membership are, they're very excited about some of the things that you've done, some of the changes that have been made, and they're starting to feel really connected.
That's good, good. These are one of the things right now that we're doing. I know last time I talked about organizing, how we organize, and one of the things that we are doing differently here at the region is first contracts. And what is a first contract? A first contract is, as I said before, just if you know, I'm going to go back and repeat what I said at the last podcast. Please watch that podcast. But organizing is we organize the independent part sectors, or anybody that wants to belong to a union. You can organize, if you're in Region 1 of the 8 counties that we have, you can come here, call the region, and we can come and organize your work site. We're good at that. But once we get your work site organized, we do something we call first contract. And here I have my staff who are also a part of all first contracts. And what makes this so different, I think so many people don't realize, how many departments that we have at International.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. We really looked at that too. I'm just going to call up a couple of them right now. It's like, so, people may not realize we have health and
safety.
Health and safety, which is very helpful.
Mm-hmm. We have a chaplaincy
Those
department.
are council, downtown. We have the women's department, which I am the director of. We have resources.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Social security department down there. People probably don't know what the heck that means. But when you're dealing with contracts and first contracts or any contracts when we're organizing, these contracts, you want Social Security there because then you can, when you're competing with these companies, you can actually go in and see what they're making, understand what they're paying. We can check out their wages. That's why it's so important that we know of all the departments. And here at the region, like I said, what we're doing differently is I'm making sure that I bring in all the departments to help with us to get great contracts. We have EV strategy, which is a really good thing because we talk about it all the time, but we got to be right on the forefront of this EV stuff. So we got to be ready when it comes.
To educate our members.
Yeah. Oh, wow, we have to.
But, Director, we can't forget about our communications department.
Oh,
that is so important when it comes with the first contracts and everything else that we do.
Oh, yes. And it's funny, we got comms here, and they're doing this podcast, but I tell you what I really love about comms team, they've been doing our highlights for us, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
Oh, my God.
So shout out to comms.
Shout out to comms, because I tell you what, a lot of the independent parts we're used to seeing highlights.
Mm-hmm.
We've been putting it on our Facebook page where you see the highlights, but no, they actually been doing booklets and stuff, telling people what they're getting.
Because it is so important to get those communications out. Mm-hmm. Because we have so many new members who don't understand the process, and they're being able to read about it and learn about it and educate themselves. So communications is so important.
And a lot of our young people, they're visual. They like to see things, and they want it in their hand. So, again, we're going to get an extra shout-out to the comms team, because we've been working the comms team here.
Yeah.
At Region 1. That's what we've been doing different here at Region 1. We've had a lot of rallies here at Region 1. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God.
And we have comms support.
Comms support again. We might need to get our own comms team or something around here. What you think?
Yeah, I think so.
But that's just some of the things that we're doing here that are doing differently. Another thing that I'm actually doing differently is accountability. In regards to accountability, we're doing different from the last past administration. We're tracking grievances. I personally don't handle grievances, but as a director, but my staff handle the grievances that come in. And we put a tracking system together. So if a member calls down here to want to know where the grievance at, have it been met on, what step it is, we are able to just pull it up and check it out. And that is so important because to our members, that is something, because a lot of times people say, what do the region really do for me? And you may never have a grievance. You never get a grievance. So there's so many other things, but I think being a past president and a grievance handler myself, every grievance I felt was so important that you took the time and get to know the person because that's my brother and sister. And I
Exactly.
wanted to make sure I got
Exactly.
the best one. And those grievances are very important. And we minimized some downtime about phone calls here because I don't play that at Region 1. We got a system here where we're making sure members are
Peoples
getting
get
that
called
phone.
back,
They're
yep.
getting that call back here. Yeah, we have a tracking system for that. We try to make sure we get, well, we do, but, in a timely fashion, I believe.
But I think the grievance tracking system is so important because there are so many of our members who, oh, my grievance isn't doing anything, or they feel like it's getting lost in the sauce. So to have a tracking system where you have that tracking number where they can call and actually find out where their grievance is, I think it makes them feel a little better.
I think so too. I think so. Then they actually can call and the rep can say, well, we have this and I need more information. And it helps having everything a full package because the more information that you provide for a grievance, the better the chances of winning the grievances.
Exactly.
Yes. So, that's really great. And then let's talk about, I said it a minute ago, but what does the region how do the region really touch members? Because I know a lot of time our members don't know what the region actually does and how come the region is so important and where we fit in the middle. I always say this, the local, they're going to touch you every day. I'm someone you're not going to see every day. I'm someone that you may not even know who I am. But it's important that you know that the region, our job, what are our responsibility here at the region? I feel that my responsibility is making sure that I educate the leadership at those locations. We bring in steward training where first stewards, people who've been stewards, we make sure they get the training they need to do their job. So I always say steward because I do get that confused sometimes because some locations don't have stewards. They're called committeemen, they're called zone, district, but I will say this. I'm going to say grievance handler. Anyone that's a grievance handler, we make sure we bring in training for that. We got a lot of new training that's coming up also for our grievance handlers too.
That's great.
Yes.
That's great because we have a lot of new stewards or grievance handlers that are, they're fresh, they're brand new, they're trying to get involved, and that training is much needed.
Yes. And another way that we touch is we're going to talk about it, is all our councils that we have here at the region. And I will give someone an example that don't understand what council, the difference between, it's like standing committee, but it's a standing committee for here at the region. And we have some of our great chairs of our council here will go over the details of how they're moving differently and what are they doing to improve the lives of our people that live in Region 1. And we also always make sure Region 1 is open to all UAW members. So anything that we're having at Region 1, you're more than welcome to come. Correct?
That's correct. That's
I've been
absolutely
doing
correct.
that, right?
Yeah, we have, because there are so many people who may not be able to get on the committee at their local. So we have opened the doors at the region to where you can come and volunteer on any of the councils, and we welcome you.
Yeah, and another way that we also touch the membership, by going in the community. The important thing about the region is the involvement into the community. And people may not understand why is that so important. When we get ready to go on strikes or needing support, that's what we need, the community. We want the community support. And one of the things that here at the region we do, we also make sure we support the community with our councils, myself, just over and over. This is what we do here. And that's another way that we're touching members without actually physically touching members. I think that's what people always say, well, what do the union do for me? It's a lot that we do for you. It's such a big, how would you say it? The union is bigger than one person. I will always say that. And the more you learn about your union, the more educate we do for the membership, we're teaching people how to grow and become great union people. What other ways you think we
I
teach
think
people?
I think when you speak of the councils are, we can say, an extension or just additional arms from the head of the union to draw the people in, because there are so many people have different interests. So you'll have people that I think I might want to do the men's council, or I might want to be on chaplaincy. So the UAW or the union is so diverse, and we like it that way because it keeps our members engaged, and that's what we're trying to do, drive our members to continue to be engaged with the union.
And another thing that I also done here differently at the region, I don't focus just on the big three. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of our members don't realize. We're focused on every sector. So we have TOP, we have independent parts. Of course, I tell everybody we represent Canada also. We have
Casinos.
the casinos, yes, the casino workers. We have some hotel workers. We actually have online gambling that we just organized, which is recently.
I have librarians.
And librarians, we do. We have Oakland County. They just had an election out there. We have Macomb County.
Don't you have a dog catcher?
We got dog catchers. We represent dog catchers, and we did just get bus. I think we get bus drivers.
We got bus drivers.
We got bus drivers, and we also, we also represent Red Cross. Yes, we also so we're such a diverse union. And higher ed also, I forgot, I want to share, we say higher ed because we
Yes.
have Wayne State, we have community college, we represent everyone. And one of the things that when we have meetings, we want to make sure we're inclusive to everyone. And we don't just talk about the big three.
Exactly.
Because there are a lot of services that are available to the big three that a lot of members that don't have. And I think one of the things that we have a lot of scholarships here. And I want to say that we have a lot of scholarship that when you want to go to some of these trainings and you're a smaller location, just have your president reach out to the region and we can make sure you can get that training with scholarships that we offer here at the region. Just making sure that everyone, no matter how big your local is or small your local is, we're here to make sure that training is here. And I do want to say this, a lot of times locals cannot send people to to the financial conference or different conferences, but please reach out to the regions
For the
for the scholarships so you can go there, and if not. And one of the things that I have done here at Region 1, though, I bring some of those same trainings here at the region. Because we have the different ability to other regions because we're close. I think our farthest location may be 2 hours. So everybody is within the vicinity, which is a great thing. That what makes Region 1 good. What you think, Region 1?
I think Region 1 is great.
Yeah, Region 1 is good. So we're going to take a break right here because I want to make sure we give some time to our council chairs to discuss how important their council is to Region 1.
What up, though?
What up, though, Region 1?
Yeah, the Voices of Region 1 podcast with LaShawn English. What up, Joe? What up, Joe? We build it informative, unifying the community. Let the love flow. What up, Joe? What up, Joe? What's up, Joe? What's up, Joe?
Well, welcome back. Hey, Judy, how you doing?
I am fabulous.
Fabulous. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and tell everybody what you do here at Region 1.
All right. My name is Judith Rice, and I am the Region 1 Veterans Council Chairperson. I'm the first female, and we are moving differently also. We're taking the road that we've gone down before and learned from it and just adding to it. And we're really excited. I'm a member of Local 653 in Pontiac and have just progressed quickly through the ranks to this chairperson. So I'm the first female, and we have so much excitement in our Veterans Council right now.
Yes, you guys do.
We,
I love
we-
it.
our schedule is busy, and we have, the big thing that we have coming up is the region sponsored the Centerline Independence Festival, one of our local community events, and that is May 31st and June 1st. Now, the good thing with that is that, of course, it's a big family event on Saturday, and we'll have a booth there promoting the UAW and what we do, so stop on by. But on Sunday, we are one of the key sponsors and holding a spot at the Centerline Car Show,
Yes.
which is huge. They're giving away dollar prizes. We have a beautiful UAW trophy that we'll be presenting.
Yes.
And that presentation is at 4 o'clock. And the thing is that this is also a little bit of a fundraiser for us. Now, what we're going to do with some of those funds are, we are going to be able to present a check to charities, and we have a charity that they're going to be giving away a car
Whoa, a car.
to a veteran in need.
A real
So
car?
nice.
A real car.
real car.
The car's going to be there, and they're going to have the veteran and give this person the keys, because often veterans, they have problems with PTSD or physical ailments that they can't hold the job full time to get a car. And this charity recycles the cars and refurbishes them. And they know that we're giving them a check, but the surprise is that there's a few other people giving that charity checks
Oh, that's
because of
awesome.
our connections, our reaching out. So it's going to be a phenomenal event. Now, some of the money goes towards that we fundraise, but it's also, we go down to John Dingle VA Hospital in Detroit. Now, we put up close to 30 Christmas trees in an hour and a half
Yes, you did.
at Christmas. It was
Yes,
fabulous.
did.
And it just makes it brighter. When you're down there and you're having to deal with no family, because oftentimes they live too far away, or a lot of these gentlemen just came back and they don't have that family connection. And some of them actually are old UAW members. And we give them some of our old T-shirts or the T-shirts that say UAW, and they're like, oh, and the stories are phenomenal. How the UAW has brought them in as a family. The great thing is, though, that we just don't service UAW members.
Right.
We use our UAW members to educate all the veterans. Like, we just had this Veterans Benefits seminar in Pontiac,
Yes.
and we serviced 28 veterans, one-on-one visits. And we have gotten these people over millions of dollars in total. I'm one of them. I didn't know about a lot of this stuff until I came to this organization. And a lot of our stuff, you don't have to be a veteran yourself. If your mom, your dad. So if you're out there and you're at Blue Cross and your dad is, a Vietnam veteran or something else, or a son or uncle, that information can be relayed to them. And that's what we do. It's to it's making your life better, making their life better.
That is so
Reach,
heartwarming.
teach,
Ain't it?
That is
empower.
like really heartwarming.
See the
Yeah,
difference?
yeah.
We're moving different.
Right.
Look
Yeah,
at that. Oh
and
my
it's
God.
and it is when you come to our events, somebody's going to end up crying. Somebody is going to end up crying, no matter what.
So I'll make
So
sure I
it's-
have tissue on June 1st.
Yes.
Yeah.
That person
Oh
get
yeah,
that card.
yeah. Bring it because it is just amazing, the things that we have coming up. We actually, one of the biggest honors that we do we go to the Great Lakes National Cemetery in Holly, and we have an honor guard team, and we do the funeral colors
Yes.
and presentation. We present the flag to a veteran's family. We do that because we're recognized as being trustworthy and credible, and we even have board members from our council on that cemetery board that gets us a vote on how things are ran up there. So the power that just being a UAW member gives us is incredible, incredible. And we look forward to so many more events, whether it be the stand down that's going to be hosted. Oh my gosh, we're hosting the stand down in September.
Okay, that's gonna be great.
And this is huge.
Okay, that's big.
And then we have other things going throughout the year, but those are two huge events that we have coming up that just they change people's lives.
Yes, they do.
LaShawn, they do.
They
They
do.
do. And we, as a Veterans Council, the way that you support us and allow us to throw an idea at you, you're like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
And it is phenomenal. Some of the things that our group has done, and I love it that it's just not a little small core of people. We meet once a month on the second Tuesday, and then some Saturdays, and then now we're doing Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
Because we have so many members that live far out, or that we work, and it like getting to a meeting at 5 o'clock is.
Yeah, good time. But y'all have good tacos here. Like I
Yeah.
tell everybody that. But if you do come to the meetings in person, the food is always good.
Yeah, definitely,
Yes,
definitely.
yes.
We are good.
Thank
But
you.
we look forward to welcoming new members.
Thank you.
And making our group join.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you, thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
And next up, we have Rhonda. Rhonda.
Rhonda's playing shy today.
I think
You know,
she's-
we went back and forth all day today about this. She wants to be shy.
Yeah, she's one of the servicing reps here at Region 1,
sorry.
y'all. Hey, Rhonda, tell them who you
Hello.
are and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, hello, I'm Rhonda Mauer. I work here. I'm a servicing rep. I service GM, Stellantis, IPS, third parties. Pretty much anything they ask me to do, I do. So I also have skilled trades. I help with VCAP, and that's what I'm here to speak on tonight.
Okay.
So I want to make sure all of our members know that if you don't sign up for VCAP every year, you will not receive an incentive.
Can you say that again,
You
please?
will not receive an incentive unless you sign up every single year.
Is that why they keep asking me for their
Yes.
pairs?
Yes,
Yes.
because the money still comes out, but if you don't sign up, you won't get an incentive. So every single year, make sure you sign up.
Is that
So-
because if they don't sign up, the money goes to national
It
cap?
goes to
Okay.
national cap instead of staying here. Yes, so that's very important that we keep it here. So that gives our candidates here in Michigan more money. So that is a definite plus for Michigan. So also, our packages are broke down. If you give $1 to $9, you're gonna get a retractable badge holder. If you give $10 to $24, you're going to receive a T-shirt and the retractable badge holder. Our third package is for $25, and you will receive a T-shirt, a polo, and the retractable badge holder. And our fourth package, package D, for $60, you will receive a puffy jacket, a beanie, a polo, a T-shirt, and the retractable badge.
I'm looking forward to that puffy jacket.
I've heard a lot of people's eyes. But thank you for having me.
So we got one couple questions.
Okay, couple questions.
So how would a member go and re-up there, or to know that they got to go in and reapply every year? How do they do this? Because most
So-
people are saying they didn't know about it.
Okay.
So what would they do? What would
Most
they say?
people go see your VCAP chair in the plant and get the yellow card, fill that out, front and back. Front and back, everybody forgets about the back. Also, make sure you put your size of the shirt size that you wear on the card somewhere. Front, back, it doesn't matter. Just put it on there somewhere so we can order the correct size for you. So,
And so why is it so important that you think that members should give to the VCAP though?
oh, that way, because we have politicians that help us. Just like when we go out on strike, any local, that politician, if they don't show up, we ain't supporting them. They better show up at that picket line or we're not gonna support them.
Because that reminds me, because we do have screenings here that happen, don't we?
Absolutely.
And people just assume that we pick these. How are these candidates chosen?
Oh, they're chosen by our members that come down and do the actual candidate screening.
It actually happens, doesn't it?
It actually happens. I've been part of it for years.
Because some
So-
people will say, how do I get involved in that? How do I know? I know Shantae's been filling in and you always
Yep.
been know, but how with it?
We send out a flyer to every local, letting them know when we're doing the candidate screening. We ask that they get the information out to their members. It's on our Facebook, it's on our website. If you signed up for the text alerts, you'll get text alerts about anything going on here at the region.
So a big question,
Yes,
am I required to give to CAP,
No.
to be CAP?
it's voluntary. That's what the V stands for. Voluntary dues.
Voluntary dues.
Yep,
Really?
voluntary. You do not have to give.
And so the questions, are they planted? Can I ask any question I want of the candidate to live in my community?
Yes, as long as you ask every candidate in that district the same question.
Oh, I can't just pick on
No,
someone.
you just can't pick on somebody. You got to ask all of them the same question.
That's what we mean moving differently, though. Because when we moving differently, it's like, we're not picking it. It's not LaShawna
No.
director, is it?
No,
Because people assume there's LaShawna director,
No.
right? It's the membership, right?
we are not here to tell you who to vote for.
Say it again, Rhonda.
We are not here to tell you who to vote for.
Yes,
So,
we have to do more.
One of the
about
big
it.
questions we do ask is, what kind of car do you drive?
That's a huge question.
That's a huge question, because I don't want to support somebody that ain't supporting us.
We truly believe in that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
And that's why we don't want to give our money to someone that's not supporting us either.
Absolutely.
Because we're going to always ask that same person who we support for our member support when we're in a strike or something, or
Yes.
anytime we need them. Because we need them more than just for strikes. We need them when it's time to vote for some of the laws that are being passed, some of the legislation been passed.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot. And people don't understand how important it is to have friends in politics. Do you say so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Because what happens there, what?
If you lose it, if you gain it at the table, you can lose it in legislation.
Yes.
That is true. Thank you, Rhonda.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Well, next up, we have Q. Miss Q. I call her Q, just so y'all know.
on my- Q,
I call her Q. I didn't mess that up.
I know. I'm like, that's not the name I wrote
Hey,
down.
that's what I call my girl Q. You gonna let her introduce herself, but you know she used to. Hey, look out here. She's used to this
I am.
podcast very, very well.
I am.
Yes, she
Hello
is.
there.
Hi, how are you?
Q.
What up, now? Hey, glad to have you.
Yes, so glad to be here. You guys are doing great things.
Thank you.
Yes, you moving differently. We moving differently. Different things are happening.
Yes.
My name is Baquita. I am the recording secretary for Local 51. And I'm also the Developmental Advisory Council chair for Region 1 for new members. And so it's really hard to move a certain way when we don't have a lot of new members coming into our building. And so this is what I pray changes, that we're able to bring new members in so that they can live this good life. Because living with the union funds, operating within the union is actually a blessing. And so being able to onboard our new members, this is what this is about, to be able to onboard them and let them know about the different things they need to know. Where are the bathrooms? Where are the offices? Where are the resources? Letting them know in the first 30 days what you need to do, the 90 days. And so what we've been having is SVRs, or we've been having, summer help. And even with the summer help, at my plant, I initiated a social with the supplementals. And so what I did was had a pizza party. I made a motion. Because you can make motions, and we do have a new member fund that we have to call up to the region or send an email to the director to be able to use the funds, but there are funds available, and I don't think people understand that either. And so with those funds, well, I didn't ask about that fund, but our general fund, I made a motion to have $500, up to $500, to have pizza and pop, and to just kick it with them. Breaking bread with our union brothers and sisters is huge. You get to know people, you get to know about people, and I think we kind of missing that. A lot of people just want to go home, they want to go to work, go home. And so a lot of our interactions with each other, it's important. It's important with the dynamic of our workspaces. And so with that, I met a lot of people. Although they were let go a few months later, which they already knew, they were summer help, it was still a seed that was planted, you know, for us to have that pizza and pop and chips and talk, and I played some music, you know. And so once we start getting new members again, this committee will be definitely up and running. We are looking forward to more people coming aboard with UAW.
You know, this is, so as a president, I will say this, when we got new members and we talked to them about the union and taught them about the union, do you know how many people will actually call me when they get another job and say, hey, we want to organize this because we enjoyed that
Wow.
short stint,
Yeah.
that being, so people never know the impact of just telling them how important it is to be a union.
Yeah.
And we're always being watched. People don't realize, like, so,
Definitely.
you know, we always being watched, and they're coming in for a short time, but when they come in and they realize, like, I don't want to be on a job without a union. People don't realize that, like,
How
and
important
it's
it
how
is.
important it is. You may, you know, like, want to stay here,
Yeah.
but then it makes you realize that unions are so much more important.
They are.
And so it's like, when you have these conversations, you got to say, when you do. But I literally, as a president, I still get phone calls.
Yeah.
They call me, hey, well, you know, just my little time at y'all location.
Yeah.
I was coming to y'all union meeting only for 3 months, and I realized, like, I don't want a job without a union. How do I organize?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's important. That's good. Breaking bread.
Yeah.
I tell people, it's just breaking the bread of friendship and knowing, like, eating together. That means
Yeah.
you know each other. Like you said, the passing of each other at work. The unions calls us brothers and sisters, not workers.
Yeah.
So you gotta get to know your brothers and sisters.
And get acclimated with
Yes.
that, brothers and sisters. I see a lot
Yes.
of people might want to eat by themselves, even now. And when you take away just from new members, we're talking about our older generation with our newer generation. We also need that knowledge. You know, I talked to one of our elders, elder sisters, and she was telling me how they were on the picket lines and all of the things they did to get us to where we are. And I feel like we are spoiled
Oh, yeah.
to a certain degree,
Oh, I think
right?
so.
We don't know what it took for us to get these benefits and get these jobs. So not only new members, but even our seasoned members need to know, like, where we started. And so I
maybe
think
we need
having
to take
classes.
so maybe moving differently with the development. Maybe we might need to redevelop in our.
I think
so. We gotta
so.
talk about it because we got we
we're
gotta
gonna
move
have to
different
talk
around
about.
here.
Write that down. We're gonna talk about that.
We need a grassroots. We need a
We do.
grassroots.
We do.
want to move different in Region
We
One.
need
and
to
how
show
do
the
we?
videos and not just
Yes.
at Black Lake, but we need to do it here.
Yes,
Yep.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And you know that is that you are the chair.
Yeah.
And I am the director.
So we putting
And
that down right
that's
now.
what- if that's what you want to do, we putting it
Yeah,
down.
we need to do that.
We need to do that because I do think that people do need to understand with the union. I think a lot of entitlements, because I have mentioned it here at
For
the region,
sure.
because the people don't realize, like, bathroom breaks are something that's not a gimme.
Yeah.
A picnic table is not a gimme. These are negotiated items. So gloves, I got jobs there, they have to buy their own gloves, their own
Wow.
safety glasses. I mean, even at one of the certain stamping plants, the plant manager tried to put that on there. So
Wow.
we
got
gotta
some work
educate.
to
We
do.
got
Yeah.
some work to do,
got
and that's
some
gonna
work
be
to do.
what you're gonna be doing:
Yeah.
developing and grassroots.
Check.
Check. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
coming
Thank
today.
you so much.
Appreciate this. And the next person we got coming up here, I don't know. I think this young man, I don't know, he might outshine me and Shantae. I don't know, Shantae, because he got a whole-fledged podcast himself, too.
Yes, he does.
Yes,
he
he does. And he's a young man that's been getting around and moving a lot differently.
He does
and he's
move
changed
different,
changed
yes.
things a lot. You know?
Shaking it up.
He's shaking it up in ways that, you know, we're not used to. So, you know, hey, Kennedy.
Welcome.
Welcome, Kennedy.
Hey, what up,
Hey,
dog?
What up?
Hey, give it up for Region 1.
Region 1.
What up, though?
What up, though?
So my name is Kennedy, just like the president. I'm from UAW Local 140, and I work on Skillet too. I am a floater. And I mention that proudly because a lot of times think when I'm just you're a floater or you're working on the line, the director gave me the honor of being the head of the men's council. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's how we're moving differently. I don't have a position. I'm not an elected official anymore. I am a line worker, and I have the responsibility of pioneering the men's council at Region 1, which are the first of many to come.
Yes. And what are you guys doing?
Well, we've been around for about a year. We have just under 40 members, and we put on a couple events. Our next event was going to be June 14th here at Region 1 from 10:30 to 3 p.m. That is our men's health fair. That is our second. But we just came off our first ever Black Tie Gala here at the region, which it was a huge success. We were not on the map, but we're on the map now, right?
we are.
That event that put us on the map, we did really, really well. We had a full house. We had the Lieutenant Governor as our guest speaker. We had a couple other politicians in the house, but we did really well. And we have some other social events coming up during the summer. I'm not going to speak on it now because we haven't got it done. We're looking for someone special, but we got something else coming for you guys.
So how do you think this men's council has changed the men in Region 1?
Man, how has it changed the UAW?
That too, but hey,
Right?
that
Right?
too.
Because now you have other men I'm getting other men from outside of other regions calling, asking about it. They want to be part of it. They want to start their own. Even at the local level, I know a couple of locals, including 140, they're talking about doing a men's committee. So it's something that was needed. It was not my idea. It was the director's idea. I want to give all shout out to her because it was a woman who came to me and said, hey, I need you to get some men together and start up a council, something that's never been done before. And it's working out really well. We're doing good. We have a lot of energy. We meet quarterly every third Wednesday, every quarter. So that's in January, April, July, and October. But we meet in between as needed.
Do you have any open meetings? So say if I want to come and just come and be a part of your open meeting, do you have any open meetings?
Yes, good question. The meetings are open to everyone who wants to support men and their ideals. We are accepting members, but we need to speak to your president first. But as I spoke to the director, some important things I want to say. We want to be very diverse. I did hear her earlier talking about TOP, IPS, gaming, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, things of that nature. We have members from those organizations, but we're still looking for members, especially gaming. We're looking for some members in gaming. We're looking to build up the IPS. The manufacturer does not have a problem. We have plenty of members. So even if you're not able to become a voting member, you're able to come on as an advisor. So we're looking for all the men to come up, to show up and show out, because it's needed.
Is it needed?
It is needed.
Is
And
it
there
needed?
is a buzz.
Yes,
a
and there
buzz?
is
There's a
so
buzz for the
much
men's
energy about this men's council. I have men coming up talking to me all the time, inboxing me, calling me.
What do y'all
things of that
talk
nature.
about? Because they call themselves the barbershop. I got a couple say, what do y'all, could the women get in a little idea or it's just men only type of
Well,
talk?
we can't. We're not going to tell anyone they can't join, but we're trying to focus on the men because we're just under 40 members. We're trying to get established. We're trying to get a foothold for the men because everyone has had their opportunity, but the men haven't had the opportunity. So we ask that we at least get a little bit more, get an opportunity to bring more men on and to branch out, things of that nature.
So one question, what is your mission statement for the men's council? Because
Well,
every council has to have a mission statement.
Well, I don't have it in writing,
Okay?
right? But I can tell you what some of my pillars are: community outreach, mentoring. We also slips my mind right now. I'm on the spot, but I'm good at it because I do my own talking. But right now it doesn't. It slips my mind as far as a mission statement. But we really focus on men building leaders, future leaders, and things of that nature. That's the most important thing we want to do is build future leaders with men.
And that's what we need in the UAW. I mean, we have all
Yes.
kind of councils here, and like I said, but sometimes it's just good, you know, to build on that. Because I remember our very first conversation, and the men, you know, just needing a safe space, I think.
Right.
You know, and to talk about the growth and what they need to grow. Because
And you-
again, as a community,
Right.
we all need support. It doesn't matter.
Remember, we talked about men having driver's license, men
Yes.
being able to child support. It was the simple, basic things that the director noticed that men did not have support with, and that's what she put my mission on to be, to support men and just the small things. On the men's council, we consider ourselves the glue to all the other councils. We're looking to support any other council in any shape, form, or fashion. If it's just standing outside the door and holding the door, things of that nature. But we want to be able to support all the councils and then in return have them support us.
Appreciate that. Thank you so
so
much.
much.
This is what we do.
This is what we do. Yes. Thank
There you
you.
go. See y'all later.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
So next up, we got Keith from the retirees.
This is one of my favorite councils.
This one of your favorite
One of my
councils? Because one day
favorite.
we're going to be retired.
Soon.
Hey, how's it
Hey, how are you?
going?
Thank you for
Go
coming.
on.
Thank you for having me.
We bring the big dogs in
Yeah.
there, everybody. We got the big dog right here.
What's left of me?
What's left?
Yeah, I'm Keith Griffin. I'm the retiree delegate chairperson here at the region. I'm a retiree from Local 22. And I'm proud to be here supporting our retirees with our director and all that she does for us. We meet every month as an executive board, and the delegates meet every other month. This August, we're having our picnic here, and each delegate is allowed to bring a guest. But what we do here is we inform our members so they have the information to take it back to their particular locals and keep the information out and keep it fresh and answer our questions. And what we do, if we don't have an answer, we'll come here and get an answer and we'll get back with you. That is our mission.
That's your mission.
Yes. So if you have any questions.
So I got one because you know we just had our summer school at Black Lake for the
Yes,
retirees.
yes.
So I got questions about it. I got some questions on this, and I told them I was going to talk to you and Miss Rita. Miss Rita is also, she's a servicing rep here at the region that helps the retirees. She's a retired herself. But one of the things that she said, which we're going to try to do, is bringing in some speakers to help with our locals. So, like, get with you and get a bunch of speakers and maybe do one open meeting for everybody that can come.
That would be wonderful.
And that way they can, because some of our locals, you know, they are small, they don't even meet anymore.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they were there at Black Lake when they was like, well, we don't be getting this type of information. So we said we would have one open meeting where you have an open meeting and then we'll bring in, because a lot of retirees do get phishing, which is
Yeah.
called scam on there. A lot of them, we used to do a lot, you know, bring speakers in to help them out.
Right.
And a lot of retirees have problems trying to find speakers. So, you know, they're like, I don't have a problem with that, but you never do.
Right.
And I think one of the things that what I do, I like I said, the retiree chapter is my favorite stuff. So you guys do a great job.
We try.
Y'all, oh no, y'all be on it. Y'all be on it. But I think, you know, also y'all do more than that, because when we call y'all come out here, don't you?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
talk a little bit about that too.
Yes, we are the old guard, you could say, because our time is available whenever we need it here at Region 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been known to show up and show out.
Oh, y'all show out. I can't remember exactly, and don't quote me, but I know for a fact we were the #1 calls that were made out of Region 1. I want to say during election season, we did quite a lot of calls. I know we were #1, because one of the things about Region 1, we got a phone bank here.
Yes. A full phone
A
bank.
full phone bank. And I think y'all got another committee that the retirees have too.
The
also.
legislation committee.
Tell them about
And
that.
we
What does
meet-
that do? What does that do? They need to know about this.
We meet the first Monday of every month, the legislation committee, and we talk about what's going on legislation-wise, as far as it concerns our retirees and the general public in general. But it's important that we have an understanding about what's going on in the politics today, because the politics affects us all. And I always tell people, the company gave me a job, but with the union, I was able to keep it. And that's very important, because you don't know exactly what you have until you lose it.
Exactly.
And the UAW, greatest union in the world, in my opinion.
No, we all agree. I agree. What about you,
I
Chantel?
definitely agree.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that they know how much y'all do, though. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, you know, people
We,
don't realize that. And
we-
y'all still active. That's what
Yes,
people do. You got to
yes.
stay
We
active.
gotta
What would
stay
you say of a retiree? What would you suggest for any retiree to get active, right?
Yes.
Stay active.
Stay active. I mean, there's plenty of councils and committees you can be on, because it's important. For over 30 years, these people met every day, and they were like a second family. And all of a sudden, when you retire, there's only a chance to meet at your union meetings. And a lot of them live so far away, they don't go to the union meetings. But they can get that information from the region,
Yes.
and they can get it from us.
And well, one more thing before you go. We are going to start that retiree newsletter back up, and that should be done by July, and it will be out. So just to let you know,
Thank
I
you
was
very
pushing
much.
on. Okay.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
All
for
right.
coming too.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, the next one, I actually sat on this council for almost 10 years, Shantae. I was on this council for a long time.
I bet I can guess what that is.
Can you guess?
I can guess what that
Most
is.
people don't know what I did in the plant, huh? What you
No,
think
they
it
don't.
is?
They don't.
What council do you think it is?
It has to be skilled trades.
Oh my God, yeah, still tries. We got Scott here. He's on his way up.
Skilled trades don't do anything fast.
That's true.
Hello.
Hey Scott, how you doing today?
Not too bad.
Okay, well tell the audience who you are.
All right, I'm Scott Trotter. I'm from Local 412, Unit 14 Chairman, which is, we're kind of unique because we have salary and hourly skilled trades. I've been with Stellantis for 32 years, a pipe fitter for 25. The only trade.
That's right.
I
We'll
am
get
the,
cussed out later, you know that.
Yeah, I know that. I am the Region 1 Skilled Trades Advisory Council Chairman here, and which also means that I am the Region 1 International Skilled Trades Advisory Council representative. So it's good to be able to speak our minds,
Yes,
and Region 1's always loud. So,
yes we are.
you know, our council, our
Because
goal
most
is,
people don't know what a skilled trade council do. They have no clue or even know we had it, you know?
well, for a long time it was canceled.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? Mm,
So I want to thank you for bringing it back. It was a long time without it.
thank you.
And it's good because we deal with the independent parts plants, GM, Ford, Chrysler, and typically we all have the same issues. But learning from all the committeemen, chairman, and just the general skilled trades that show up, the different approaches that everyone has to, you know, topics like the lack of manpower, the apprenticeships, every one of them does it different. Kind of not supposed to be, but I guess that we all do it different. You know, we all try to find common ways to approach these common goals, and it's very open. And then if everyone knows skilled trades, they are very vocal and don't mind speaking, good or bad. You know, in doing that, we're all trying to achieve our common goals and make it a better place to work for everybody, safer. As you know, recently, we've had a couple of deaths. And safety is number one. I don't want to, as a chairman, I don't want to make that phone call telling somebody that somebody's never coming home again.
Right.
And so safety's first. And it's a big topic,
It is, especially for skilled trades.
you know, because
Because we do non-traditional work.
Correct.
And that actually really, people don't realize that because our work is not traditional. So things are always changing. And that's why it's important to preach safety or, you know.
and you know, the informal, skilled trades will always be skilled trades,
Yes.
but when you walk into that plant or wherever you're at, you know that something can happen that day. And it's quick.
Yeah, real quick. I had 2 deaths in my plant, so it
Yeah.
happens really quick.
Yeah, and I appreciate the opportunity because I got almost 32 years in the company, but, there's some younger kids that we're able to teach. And there's some people that I'm able to learn from. So that opportunity, again, to just communication, which lacked for a long time.
Right. I
And,
love it. We might need to get a newsletter out also for you too. Because I know that's something we're doing differently. Because we also doing a Region 1. And Shantae has been we're reaching out to the councils and asking them to give us stuff that they want us to put in our newsletter. So we already had one, but we're gonna try, gonna do another one. So, and that's something like, things of importance that we need to make sure it get out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The company always says safety first at no cost. I call BS. Everything costs to them.
Yes.
And with the dwindling numbers of manpower, we're doing a lot of things that aren't safe. So
Okay.
we're trying to push that, through skilled trades, ways to, better the safety, use the contracts. Each one of the, Independence, GM, Ford, Chrysler, they're all different contracts, but we could take a little bit from each one
And that's your major role, that you get to go on an international stage and making sure that they're heard in Region 1 too.
Correct.
People don't realize that's the important part of it.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Thank you for bringing it back.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, wow. This next one, I also sat on this one for quite a while too. I think I was elected on this one for quite a bit too, Shantae. This
Could
one
that
is.
be
What
the
would you-
Women's Council?
Yeah, yes, that women's
The
council.
women's
You know what they
council.
say about them women.
That
But they ain't
women's
doing no
council.
bake sales no more. We ain't got no more bake sales. I don't think they do it. What you think? Are they bake selling?
No, we not bake selling.
They working, right?
Got them working.
Got them working?
Got them working.
Got them working.
Got 'em working.
I'm really curious, but I'm really glad to hear what's going on with the women's department.
Well, the Women's Council, they're moving and shaking.
Okay.
There is they've done a community outreach where they went to, oh, I'm
She's
like, Christian,
here. Oh.
yes,
That's
thank you
guest
for
for the
coming,
women's
Christian.
department. What up? Who we got here? Who is this beautiful lady
Hello,
here?
everybody. My name is Christian Graham, Recording Secretary at UAW Local 228, trustee here at the Region 1 Women's Advisory Council, representing our chair, who is Denise Caldwell, who is also the state president of CLU.
Okay.
She is currently representing her chapter in Region 1 at CBTU.
Okay. So what's going on in this women's department, girl?
It's a lot. We are busy.
You're busy?
We are busy. A lot of long meetings, a lot of conversations, a lot of movement. Like Shantae has said, we did a community outreach, and that was something very near and dear, very touching. We went to the Youth Federation services out in Detroit, and we had the opportunity to talk to a lot of young ladies who were suffering from abuse, runaways, having children and no support. So we had the opportunity to hear their stories, give them some mentorship, some advice, and we also provided them with a lot of personal items. We provided lunch, clothing, blankets, like things that we take for granted, we were able to provide for them. So it was a great, touching experience. And then currently right now, we're helping one of those young ladies go to prom.
I
So,
heard.
yes, it is a great experience. This is my first time sitting on this council, and it has definitely been an experience. The sisterhood, the solidarity, the mentorship, and everybody on that council is at a different stage in life. We have some new people, we have some vets on there, we have some people that's been on the council many years. So it's a great council to go to for advice.
It's one of the things I changed, didn't I? Because when we said move differently, the council only used to have what, how many people at first? 5?
5, yep.
Yes, and we got how many?
Ooh, 13?
It's 14, I believe.
14?
14,
Yes.
and we have little sub-councils too. So,
Yes, that is something that I really enjoy, because a lot of people who don't have the opportunity to sit on their women's standing committee can come and be on the women's advisory sub-councils, and they bring their ideas. They come help, delegate different duties to the sub-councils, because we have, just like we have standing committees, we have sub-councils. So we have like an entertainment committee, a community service committee. So it's a wonderful experience. I love it.
Yes, and y'all got
So-
anything coming up?
We have a lot coming up. The director keeps us busy.
No bake sales. What I said,
No
no
bake
bake sales.
sales.
No bake
Party
sales.
with a purpose, that's what we do.
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of things. I don't want to put the dates out there right now because some things are to be determined, but we have a lot. One thing in particular, which I think is great, something different I never heard of, but when it was brought to the council, we were like, oh, wow, we're all on board. It's a patch party.
Yes.
And we will provide patches at a cost, and then people can bring their own patches. Some people from the committees are bringing patches for people just to have to put on there. But you can bring an item of your choice, whether it's a tote bag, a vest, a jacket, and you can put a Region 1 patch on there. You can put a fearless patch because that is our mission statement, is to be fearless in every area of your life.
Oh, my God. So Women's Council got a
We fearless.
mission.
That's our word. We fearless. We fearless
I love
in
it.
every aspect of life. We're fearless when it comes to doing something different. We're fearless when it comes to advocating for women's rights. So that's us, fearless.
Just fearless. I love that. What
So-
did you say?
You were speaking of the sub-councils.
Mm-hmm.
If someone wants to get on a sub-council, it's strictly volunteer, correct?
Yes.
What do they need to do?
We need to get with our chair, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Do you guys have open meetings?
Yes, we do have open meetings. So currently, of course, the executive board meets, and then we do have open meetings for just if you're interested, you want to know what it's about, you want to come sit in, come on. The
I
door's
got one
open.
coming up though, right?
The next one is June 18th at 4 p.m. here at the Region.
Okay, okay.
So you can get with your leadership because the call letter has gone out.
Okay.
So just get with your leadership. There's a QR code on the call letter. It will be posted on our social media platforms as well, and you can scan the QR code to register.
One last thing, we
Go
do
ahead.
have another community outreach coming up.
Yes, we do.
Which is Gleaners, which will be May
hi.
30th.
May 30th.
Yes, the call letter has already went out for that.
Okay.
And that is a great opportunity to get with your sisters and to make sure that families in need have food.
And we are
Gleaners
looking
is
for
always great.
volunteers.
Yes, always looking for volunteers.
Oh my
Yes.
God, that's great. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely got to support our Region 1. What up, though?
What up,
What up,
now? What up, now?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So Rock, he's not here. He's over to education here at Region 1. And I'm just gonna talk about how he's doing things differently here. So he said we're offering labor education class here at Region 1. And one of the major things that took place, which is really, I think this is such a wonderful thing, is between 2 to 4 days. This used to be a 5-week training.
Really?
Yes, so we transitioned because of technology, new curriculum. We have been able to get more people through in a faster time, so don't have to spend so much time. And then he says, following my vision, which I'll be on him about it, we're committed to actually doing some education. So a lot of people you probably heard today or different people that you hear, they're going to start doing education training here because we're getting our rooms here ready so we can actually offer training on a weekend right here, taught by our members here. And then we have online classes. So we know a lot of people still can't make it here to the region.
Correct.
To come here after work. So currently, Region 1, we have a link that's online. If you go to UAW Region 1 website, it'll say education in the educational tab. Then you hit that and then you go there. But currently, Rock says that if you hit the class, you still need to email him because it requires the regional rep to approve it. So you can just email here at the region and then Rock will get that for you. So that's online education, everyone. And then we're just gonna talk about we're stepping it up here at the Region 1. So recently we kicked off our Step Up Labor Education Program here at Region 1. We led the series with understanding grievances and standing committee workshops here. We will be covering the basic both topics in the future. We will cover the advanced version of each topic as well. We also sent out surveys to our members that we need them to tell us what they want. Currently, these are the ones that our members so far have chosen. Effective Educator 2.0, Union Meetings and Me, Leadership Essentials. Another one is called Using the Constitution. UAW 101 for new members at the union. And this is a really good one that I really was involved in. I thought this was something that we needed the education department to do, and Q also took one of these classes. But it's roles of officers. So these are individual classes only dealing with the role that you're in leadership. So we have the president one coming, recording secretary, and finance. We will have others, but those are the top roles that we're focusing on here at the region. And they were some of our these were our top vote getters in the survey. Then our goal is to train as many union members as possible without cost. Hear what I said, that's what I'm doing here at Region 1. Doing it differently, all these classes are free to UAW members. I said it and I say it again, if you're in the area, you want to belong to another UAW in another region, you can always come to Region 1 and learn. Again, we're gonna start offering classes on Saturday. Like I said, we're gonna do like some labor study classes that will be a weekend thing. We also just did election training. And if you ever need your election committee training, we do that here at Region 1. This was a great thing that we just had. I thought this was so how we're doing things differently. We had the Finance Freedom Summit. Oh my God. Talk about money. Talk about ACE. That was a great series. If you ever want to own your own business, how to make the most of your money, or how to get a small business loan, this was the class to come to.
I heard a lot about that class.
Did you hear a lot about that class?
They really enjoyed that.
Yes.
They really enjoyed that, to the point to where they're asking if we're going to do it again.
We're thinking about me and Rock having this conversation. And I will give a plug to the women's department because I am over that. We also will be talking a little bit about that on Wednesday, May the 29th. So we got a little freedom class. So, and then we're going to be doing classes about crypto and Bitcoins. We got that. And how to take advantage of your 401k match, because we know a lot of our members do not. We know a lot of people do not have pensions. A lot of our new members are getting to have 401k, and we want to train them how to make the most of their 401k match and how to use it and how to make sure and how to invest it. So that's one of our trainings that are coming up. And I think one of the exciting things that we're going to be doing here at the region, we're going to be doing a chat or AI training for our members.
Oh, that's going to be nice.
Oh, yes. We're going to start first with the leadership, and then from there we're going to be offering. Because, again, technology. Technology is so important. We can't be left behind. We cannot be left behind. And so we will be teaching that here. And then we're also going to have a financial officer conference here at Region 1. And learn how to do the Department of Labor, the IRS internal stuff. And then also, what did Rock say? Oh, he told me to do this. We have a bocce ball lead here at Region 1. We got 2 leads going on, but I forgot. He said, please make sure to tell everyone. It's a 14 weeks. So if you play bocce ball, come to Region 1, 5 p.m. every Wednesday this summer. And speaking of that also, we have kickball at Region 1. Kickball. And I want to thank our brother Ben Bell over at Local 7 for getting this up and running. Ben Bell, seemed to desire everyone is not very athletic, but you don't have to be very athletic. I don't know, because there are some really tough people playing kickball. But we had fun. We had some tryouts. But right now, go to our Facebook page, scan the QR code. You don't have to bring a whole team, and we will have a draft and everything. So if you can, it's on our Facebook page. But if you want to play kickball, see about us on that one. So, Chantel, I think you had something that you needed to talk about in one of the committees, too.
Yes. RACOR, which is our Civil and Human Rights Council. They assist in local civil rights training and how to conduct an effective investigation. We help promote awareness. Last but not least, we help members realize hidden and unknown biases that they may have had. RACOR has a training coming up on Thursday, May 29th, basic and advanced at UAW Region 1 here at 27800 George Morelli Drive, Warren, Michigan, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also, on Saturday, June 14th, from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., they're hosting a Night of Unity. That is going to be so nice.
I heard the
That's
white
gonna
purple.
be, it's
Is the theme colors?
white with a splash of purple. It is
Okay.
going to be awesome.
Okay.
They have, the early bird special is $100 a ticket or $600 for a table, and that's a maximum of 6 at the table. That's until May 23rd. After May 23rd, the cost of the ticket will be $125 per person or $750 per table. You don't want to miss this epic event, and recommended attire is white, again with a splash of purple. For tickets, please reach out to Raycor council members or contact Region 1 at 586-427-9200.
Okay, that's gonna be nice.
That's
I
going
can't
to
wait
be
for
really
that.
nice.
Okay, well, we're going into the question part of this. Just give us a second. We can tune right there. Don't go anywhere. Give us about 1 minute, and we're gonna bring someone up here so we can get some questions. See if we got any questions.
Yeah, the Voices of Region 1 podcast with LaShawn English. What up, though? What up, though? We build an informative, unifying the community. Let the love flow. What up, though? What up, though? What's up, though? What's up, though? The Voices of Region 1 podcast with LaShawn English. What up, though? What up, though? We build an informative, unifying the community. Let the love flow. What up, though? What up, though? Yo. The Voices of Region 1 podcast with LaShawn English. What up, though? What up, though?
Welcome back. We have Toy here. Toy, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
What up, though?
What up? What up? She told
Hi,
us to bring
everybody.
energy. She look like she looks
Right.
tired.
Oh, well, I
Would
work
she say has
midnights.
some personality?
Hey, well, hey, everybody, this is Toy Coleman from 869. What's up, pipe fitters and all the skilled trades?
Okay,
What's going
what up?
on?
What
What
up?
up, though?
I'm sitting here with 2 pipe fitters.
Yes, what up, pipe fitter?
Pipe,
Hey, hey.
skilled trades.
Yeah, so this has been an awesome second episode, you guys.
Thank
It's been
you.
awesome.
Thank you.
You guys did really well.
Thank you.
And we have some questions online.
Okay, what you got?
We have Frank Hammer. He wants to say thank you, LaShawn, for doing this. I wonder if the Veterans Council has connected with AFGE Local 933 that represents the federal workers at the Dingle Veterans Hospital. Some of their members lost their jobs due to the Dodge cuts a while back. AFGE held a rally with Congress members Debbie Dingle and Rashida Tlaib as speakers.
I do know they have a contact there. So Frank, I will get with Tom. He's the liaison, but I do know they do so much for the Dingles veterans over there. So, but I will take that and speak with Tom.
That's awesome, yeah. Yolanda Downs, I'm not sure what question you're asking. She says it's definitely the membership had the pleasure of doing it several times for Macomb County.
She's probably talking about screening.
The
screening,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
so she wants to thank you. Okay, we have Michelle online. She says, why didn't you share the details of the poll like the Teamsters when it came to the presidential elections?
I will say this to Michelle. That was done by the chairs of the national chairs of the CAPs throughout the UAW, and that was shared with the National CAP Department. And tell her, Michelle, since you're on here, I will try to get the information so you can be shared the polls.
Okay, that's awesome. See, that's what we do. We know everything is
Ask the question, you
transparent.
get
Ask
an
the question,
answer.
you get the answer.
Yeah, because I'm not the one that was done by the national, But if she got something for Region 1, we can share her any polls she
Hey.
want at Region 1.
All right, Region 1, come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle also says, as long as the good life doesn't include a $20,000 a year deductible for health care, we can't go back to that. Okay. Okay, then we have Michelle also saying, do you plan to give concrete to the company in exchange for the 90,000 jobs that Fane is asking for?
Concrete?
That's what she said, concrete. Concrete spelled C-O-N-C-R-E-T-E. That's concrete, right?
If she's on, please elaborate more because I'm not
Yeah,
really.
Michelle, can you
understand.
elaborate? Because we really don't understand that.
Yeah, I
She's talking about concessions, she said.
Concessions,
Concessions.
9,000.
90,000 jobs that Fane is asking for. I guess he's asking for 90,000 jobs, and they want concrete evidence, or I'm not sure. I can't explain that.
Well,
You have to come, she has to come back in.
give us some more
Yeah, we
because
can't really go
depends
into
on what
that.
sector, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So, okay, we have Frank Hammer. He wants to talk about June 14th is going to be a No Kings Day with 800 rallies across the U.S. protesting Trump's $90 million military parade, $1 million military parade. The Men's Council can connect with the activity at that region. So he's asking, but Kennedy,
Okay, so
Yeah,
I would contact
connect
him.
with Kennedy.
It would connect him with Kennedy, our men's council.
Okay, Michelle, ask another question. Since all new hires are considered to be voluntary quit when they retire, how do you plan to keep this committee going? I guess
Developing one
the
or the retiree? Oh, the
retirees.
retirees. Well, I would say this to Michelle or anybody. Every 4 years, we get to determine how the contract's gonna be. So it's the membership that votes on the contract. And who's to say that we may actually eventually have a pension for the retirees? I can't guarantee anything because all contracts are voted on by the membership. And it's decided by the memberships. But every 4 years, well, this year we got 4.5 years, I think, because it's we're going up into May. But sir, I will just, I'm trying to keep it as general because
Right.
it's not just the big three.
Right.
I have IPS that have to vote on, and some of them are getting pensions, and some of them are not getting 401k.
Right.
But what I would say at the end of the day, heavily put in demands.
Right.
And with your demands, if this is something that the membership wants
Yes,
and votes
yes.
on, then we will vote the contract down and this would be. But at the end of the day, it's up to the membership. So again, how do you keep the retirees? You're still a retiree in my book, but
Right.
again, every 4 years, the contract does change.
And I think people have to know about, when you say put in demands, a lot of times they don't know how to put them in, or when they put them in, or even, where do they go to put them in?
That's true. I'm gonna say this for right now, the big three. Let's focus on the big three.
Right.
When the letters come from the vice presidents of those departments, and then it goes to your leadership, and we also receive it, please be looking on a UAW Region 1 Facebook page.
All right.
And we will put it out there and say, hey, your demands are in there. And also, I'm glad you said how we move in differently. We are going to have a class here at Region 1
All right.
teaching our members how to write demands. That is
Come on
something
now.
we're going to do. So once we teach them how to write these demands, they're going to be looking for when it's time to do it. Because it is very difficult sometimes to know how to write a demand
Correct.
and understand if it's not economics, your non-economics and stuff. And we realize training is what I do at Region 1, and that's
Right.
how we move it differently.
Well,
So,
to piggyback on the demands, are we also going to do a class on how to write a resolution? Because when I was going to say the con, but they won't know what the con is. The Constitutional Convention comes around.
Right.
You know, they'll say, oh, you guys need to write resolutions. You need to do this. Put this
Yes.
in your resolution. But if they don't know how, we won't get those resolutions that we need to make those amendments that we might want to see.
so we're going to do both. Because, and again, and I'm going to say demands, we're going to do demands, resolutions, but demands can be called something totally different at each location. Because we
Right.
found that out at the last podcast, they're called differently. But again, there's still a way. One of the things about being in a UAW, when people don't realize we have a voice at the table, and what that means is that as actual members, we have the right to tell our leadership what we want at the table.
Yes.
And that's why it's important that we do put in demands, and it's got to be more than one demand. Because I want to make sure to put this on the record. If only one person out of 1 million put in a demand, it's not going to go anywhere.
That's right.
If you have the more the merrier. That's why it's so important to put in a lot of demands. And it can't be the same person with the same name.
No.
Right.
Because trust me, as a national negotiator, it don't go anywhere. I'm gonna say that. But if it's very important what you want, go around and solicit your other brothers and sisters and say, these are demands we need, and that lets people know who's at the table, what's important. Because you got to remember, there's times you may get up to 1,000 or more demands. See, people don't, it can be even higher.
Right.
And so then you got to weigh which demands are so more important than the other ones. And I hate to say that, it's like, me and you are pipe fitters, right?
Right.
And say we put in a demand for something that's only general to pipe fitters, right? And it's only 20 pipe fitters throughout the whole UAW. It ain't going nowhere.
ain't-
The
right.
rest of the skilled trades
Right,
ain't gonna
they go-
vote on
right.
it, ain't gonna support it.
It's gotta support everybody.
Yeah, and so people don't, you know, your demands are heard,
Right.
but at the same time, your demands get heard more often and get more power behind because it's based on the vote. So when it's time to vote, and people gotta remember, it's the membership that vote.
Right.
And you hear people say, well, the two-tier or the in progression got it this time or this time. But the bottom line is,
Everyone votes.
the pie is only so big, and you have to try to share it equally too.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? And so the more demands, the more your voice is going to be heard. So if that retirement is something that probably pretty much is going to be a lot of people, because
Yes.
we don't have as many traditional
Exactly.
people with
People, that's
traditional
right.
things. But we got to understand what it means to go to a traditional pension too. And that's why we got to have some honest conversations too.
And let me clear this myth up, because when it comes time to write demands, you'll hear so many people say, oh, I'm not going to write that. I'm not writing that because they're not going to read it. As a past president, and I can say this because we did it, every demand is read.
Yes.
When they turn them in, the committee comes together and every demand is read. Like the director said, then they are ranked, by importance. But every demand that is turned in is read. So I highly recommend, if it's something that's near and dear to you or near and dear to your area or just the plan in general, write the demand.
Yes.
And share the demand. Let your coworkers know, hey, I'm writing this demand, but it needs support. So you have to support each other on these demands that you write.
Yeah, it's
So-
like bills in Congress. It's like you got to get that support
Yeah.
for what you want. So
Right.
if I'm state, a senator for
You
the
gotta
state
be
of
a
Michigan,
lobbyist.
I was
you
just
got to
saying,
be there. You
You
go.
gotta
You
be a
got to
lobbyist.
lobby.
Lobby
You
and
gotta
organize.
Right.
Organize.
Lobby
Organize.
So let me ask you a question. I know we strapped for time. Do you think it's very important that people go to the union meetings because they have this information that I know a lot of questions people ask. They can get a lot of answers when they go to their local union meetings as well, correct?
Yeah, because the region is generic because we deal with every
Right.
every different issue. So it's very difficult for me to speak on something like Stellantis, Chrysler, and Ford at the region because I have to keep it generic because my audience is not there. But your
Right.
local is dealing with actually issues. So again, if you're at Stellantis, you're going to be writing demands for Stellantis at
Right.
the time. So here at the region, we're not dealing with that, right?
Right.
Because that we have a national department.
Right.
And I will say this, your local is always your first line of defense because those are the people you're going to see every day. Those are the people you're going to talk to. And one of those people, which is amazing, is probably elected to the national demands or the national negotiation. And that person is also who you can talk to say, I know you are been elected, so I need to talk to you. So always start at your local. I'm just to be honest with
Right.
you. You do need to go to your meetings. It's very important in your meetings to go to your meeting to understand what's going on at international
Right.
and also in your local.
Yeah, because if you're not, my philosophy is if you're not conversating with the people at your local level, you're not making them work. You elected these people and you're not going to them and that's their job. So now you can't really blame anyone at the region for not doing theirs when you're not
Right.
putting in the work.
Right.
You know
But it
what I'm
also
saying?
keeps you engaged. If you're going
Right.
to your union meetings, then you're engaged and you know what's going on at your local.
Right.
That way you're not getting it secondhand. I think one of my biggest pet peeves was leave the union meeting on Sunday, go to work. I was on midnights. Go to work Sunday night, and you ride up and say, "Hey, what happened
What
at the
happened
union meeting?" You should have came.
What did they say?
And you
What
want me
did
to
they
give
say?
you a play-by-play
Right.
when you should have. If you had have come to the union meeting, you would have heard it for yourself. In
Right.
case I twist a word, then you want to come back and say, "Well,
That
they
ain't the way I said
right."
it.
But it is so important that members attend their union meetings. And yes, sometimes they get long and they get drawn out, but there's going to be that 5 minutes that you are going to get some very important information that you really, really needed and really, really, really wanted that you wouldn't have got by asking me what happened at the union meeting.
Right. Or
So,
somebody might
please
ask
go.
a question that you've been wanting to ask so long, but you didn't know how, and they ask the question and get the answer.
And you shouldn't go on like social medias and try to get your answers. I'm just keeping it real. Social media is not where you get your answers.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, we're doing a podcast, yes, we're telling the questions, we're saying it, but I'm just saying, if you really want to get your true answers, social media, AI, and all of it can create fake narratives. You
Right.
can't create a fake person when you're in person.
Right.
So you do need to go to your union meetings and ask your leadership that you elected the direct question of what's this, what is this, what is this, and have these real conversations. Because you're right, you elected these people, and they are, that they pretty much they know the answer.
Right.
Sometimes your answers can be asked, and sometimes you hear what you don't want to
Right,
hear.
right.
But at the side, they gave you an answer.
They gave you
all right?
an answer,
It
that's
may not
right.
always be what you want, but it's an answer.
And the
Yeah.
playback of a union meeting on Facebook or the social media platform is not always accurate because I might want to throw in what I might want to throw in because it's all about interpretation.
Right.
So I may interpret it one way,
And you
and
interpret
the
it
intent
something
at the union when it was said at the union meeting isn't the same. So please, we are all encouraging you, go to your union meetings. I don't
Yeah.
care if it's only 25 people there. If there's a quorum, they're going to have a meeting. Go to your union meetings and get the information for yourself.
And make it a quorum.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a lot of people. Frank Hammer says, thank you, Sister English. Michelle says, thank you. Sybil says, great knowledge is power. A resolution class would be powerful. And the rest are, Denise says she loves the song. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Denise.
Yes,
Thank you, Denise.
thank you.
Yes.
What up, though? Director LaShawn, the lady, Shantae, you ladies are doing a wonderful job. That's from Sybil.
Thank you,
Amber
Sybil.
says, hey.
Hey.
We have a lot of hellos from Florida.
Okay.
They down there
At
doing their
CBD.
thing down there.
Okay.
Denise says, please, no bake sales. And Frank is looking for the return of the retirees newsletter.
Thank you.
So they all want to say thank you. They are supporting this. They really love the podcast, and that's awesome.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. We really appreciate it. Like I said, we're just trying to do things differently, but the bottom line is all about the membership. It's what you want and what you need and what you're asking for. So we're just trying to do better. We're just trying to move around, you know, for the membership at the end of the day.
The region is here, so come see
Yeah,
us.
come, and that's the advantage. Come see
Yeah.
us here at the
Come see
region.
us.
Always, we got coffee every day.
And water.
And water.
Room temperature, but this water is good.
I get you some cold water.
No, but seriously,
Yeah, seriously.
come see
but
us.
seriously,
Yeah.
Come see us, yes, please do.
It's one that and it's the open door. It's an open door policy down here. You see, I'm down here.
Yes.
I don't work at the region. I'm not. And I want to thank you, LaShawn and Shantae. I really want to say thank you on the air for giving me this opportunity to produce this podcast. It's been awesome, you know, working with you ladies and working with everyone here, getting to know you better. And thank you. So it's an open door here, and LaShawn does give opportunities to anyone who wants to come up here and volunteer and do the work. And that's what it's all about, doing the work.
Thank you.
And I think the director would agree with me on this. This is not just a building. Members, this is your home. This is your house. So, like we said, come to your house.
Come house, good.
Hey,
Come hang out with us.
Because you are welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you. Have
Thanks
a
for the
wonderful
questions.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the questions. Thank
Keep
you so
sending
much.
them.
Yes.
He's sending on. We're sending out little alerts earlier, but like I said, just keep showing up, keep doing what we're doing, and we'll keep doing what we're doing. But I really appreciate everyone.
But can I ask a question? Are you
One
ladies-
last question.
One last question. Can you let everyone know when the next podcast will be coming? When the podcasts are they once a month or?
So
once
I would
a
have to ask these two ladies sitting right here.
So,
week? We're gonna take this to Shantae.
this podcast fell on a Tuesday because we had CBTU, and the director's schedule is like so tight.
Yes.
You know, it is like really hard to get her to sit down and be still for an hour. So we had to move this because of her schedule to Tuesday. But typically, this podcast will air every third Sunday of the month. It's actually the Sunday following Talk About It Wednesdays.
Yeah,
All right.
the women's council. So it's like every third month.
Wednesday. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
At
awesome.
6
Yeah,
p.m.
thank you. 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. So
Yes.
look for us
Unless we do something special.
every
Yes.
third Sunday at
Yes.
6 p.m.
And we want to make sure to give a special shout out to our comms team. Right,
What
Shantae?
up, dog?
What up, dog? They're so
I love
special.
our
Oh my
comms team. I love
God. Oh my God. We really thank you. We really
Yes.
appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So have a good night. Have a wonderful night. Thank
All
everyone.
right.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye, everybody.